Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and or Hbar. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and I do greatly appreciate it. Now, overall, today could be a little bit scary for those who are new, maybe for those who don't have their emotions in check. And this is exactly why I say it is very important to understand, this market. It's very important to understand what you hold, know what you hold, and be able to pretty much be, detached from your emotions with this market, because you have to be, okay? Now, yes, recently we've seen the volume, we've seen the price on Hbar spiking, but now we see a little bit of a different, sort of idea around it. We see that it is down almost 14%. We see the trading volume is down. It's rough. We pretty much dropped all the way down to about 27 cents. And if we come over to the chart, I told you guys multiple times throughout this entire week, even going as far back as around, December 19th, I'm not flipping bullish on Hbar until we break over 35 cents. I do expect us to get to that point eventually. But overall, I'm not bullish on this until we break those key points. And I actually even said that I would not be surprised if we came down and retested about 27 cents going all the way back to those September lows. And look at the point that we retested exactly today. You don't really need a crystal ball. You don't need anything to predict what's going to happen in this market. All you really need to take accountability for is pretty much resistance and support zones. Understanding those will pretty much give you the most amount of success in this market. You don't have to overcomplicate things. I know a lot of individuals kind of try to overcomplicate things, but you don't need to. Of course, predictions only go so far, but if you are watching a chart and you see something, hitting resistance 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, maybe, just maybe, it's very strong resistance and it's going to retest a lower point. In fact, on the 4-hour span, we could pretty much see how many times that zone was retested until we eventually broke down below it. You can pretty much see us breaking down below it even back here in November. And just recently, we retested that zone multiple times. Now, we do see the diminished volume on the 4-hour span. The RSI isn't really too oversold here. Actually has a little bit of a stronger bounce real quick. The 2-hour span is a little bit more oversold, hence the stronger impulse here. A little bit of volume flowing in, nothing too crazy. I actually want to see a lot more volume flow in. I want to see the RSI actually get to the point where it was originally, which is back above 50. Until then, I'm not going to get any, too excited about Hbar's price action. So overall, to really kind of summarize it, I really do hope that this 27-cent zone really holds. If it doesn't, we will retest down here at about 22.5 cents. I'm hoping that we don't go that far, but it is a possibility. That is a major demand zone. This zone here is pretty much a demand zone going all the way back to the summertime. So I'm watching the chart closely just to give you guys that quick insight. I'm not, bearish on crypto at all. In fact, I tweeted out today saying, crypto has like 200 million users, and the internet adoption point, is at 60%. 60% of the population is on the internet. We still have a long way to go, especially in terms of crypto growth. I believe that we are in a macro bull market 100%. I am not too concerned at all in terms of the market sentiment. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about a few things. So, yeah, we've seen Solana go down yet again. This goes back to January 3rd. It's funny to me that this is still a high-tier asset. And with everything that's been going on with the market, with everything that's been going on with layer 1s, layer 2s, all these major networks, I always look back on things and I say, well, in order to be in the top 10, you got to be a very, incredible, overall company, network, whatever the case may be. And honestly, I'm looking at it, and now I kind of see the idea of, this not being the truth. I think that a lot of assets that are in the top 10 don't really deserve to be in the top 10 for crypto. Of course, it's probably just retail speculation and saying, well, we got to jump into this asset because, this individual told me to, whatever. But not a lot of researching is going on. And if a lot of researching did go on, we'd not, see Solana in the top 10. We'd not see ADA in the top 10. It's just my overall viewpoints on this. But when we're talking about everything, they're seeing here, sorry, that's not at all what happened. There was some congestion due to the mismetered, transitions, and some users experienced their transactions timing out and had to retry. I don't know. In my opinion, this just is a joke to me. A top tier asset like Solana should not have its network going down, pretty much every week. It's like on a weekly basis now. In my mind, I just don't see it at a number 5 asset. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below. Now, I also want to talk to you guys a little bit about ServiceNow. So obviously, ServiceNow being a massive giant as it is, I've told you guys about it multiple times now. But we do see here, we believe Hedera provides the most secure and enterprise-oriented DLT in the market. Many of the companies on the Hedera Council are our customers. It's pretty interesting to say the least. Now, the reason why I bring up ServiceNow again is because I don't think people realize how massive this actually is. We see here ServiceNow will be using Hedera to its full capacity, process integrity, digital assets, digital identity, B2B processes, sustainability, supply chain, vendor management, procurement, fraud detection, SLAs. The funny thing about this is that we just seen ServiceNow sign a 5-year deal with the Internal Revenue Service. I seen that back in like December, and it's crazy that they are working with these many named individuals, and nobody's really realizing how Hedera will be utilized in this, space for ServiceNow. ServiceNow is going to be utilizing them for pretty much everything. And I do believe that this is going to be the spark that lights the flame for Hedera to really start ramping up transactions. Now, we also see here holding XLM. Can't wait to see more alts added like Hbar API 3 and other alts that Digital Currency Group has backed early on. It's just a waiting game. And this is from Grayscale. I think that Grayscale will be eventually holding a lot of the main tier assets that we hold on a day-to-day basis. Hbar definitely. I seriously don't see a world where Grayscale doesn't hold Hbar in my mind. I believe that will come eventually at some point in time, of course. With Hedera pretty much growing and growing and growing in demand, it's pretty much going to be one of those assets where a lot of individuals will no longer be able to, avoid or ignore. And we do see that they are holding Solana here. So in my mind, if they are holding Solana, it's probably in their best interest to hold Hedera as well. And of course, I do want to talk to you guys about Aptma.io. So Aptma.io is actually very interesting, the world's leading connected product cloud. Now, they are more so centered around, digital IDs with connected products. And with all of this in mind, they're actually doing a lot of good things in terms of, pretty much transactions flows. So we do see providing unparalleled end-to-end transparency by tracking, storing, and managing all the events associated with each individual product from source to consumer and beyond to enable circularity. And of course, we know that they are working with Hedera. This is Avery Dennison's Atma.io. And this is actually very interesting because we do see 10 billion plus items connected to the cloud, 50 new items added per second, and 5,000 global factory participants. And of course, the industry that this is in is apparel, food and beverages, beauty, retail, logistics, pharmaceuticals, almost pretty much everyday life. So this is incredible to say the least, and we do see here the challenge is to push the industry forward. Atma.io considered ways to prove better the integrity of products and their supply chain provenance. And of course, the solution they pretty much chose Hedera because it provides support for sending product life cycle events such as creation, shipping, and sale to Hedera. Recording these events with Hedera Consensus Service establishes an immutable and verifiable history for every product. So this is very cool to say the least, and we know that they're pretty much going to be benefiting from Avery Dennison's Fortune 500 global footprint, innovation, and expertise. So this is pretty cool, and let's actually look at a few things that are really kind of key to know. So we actually see that there's now 300 new items added per second connected to Atma.io instead of 50, and we do see that there's 16 billion plus physical items managed on Atma, which is a big change from 10 billion. We see 6 of the top 20 apparel brands use Atma.io, 4 of the top 10 quick service restaurants, QSRs, use Atma.io, and access to the global network of over 5,000 factory service and sales support experts. A new era for connected products. This is going to pretty much be a huge transaction flow for Hedera as well. I think that this is going to provide a lot of the transaction flows that we probably see on a day-to-day basis on the network. And there's so many partnerships with this. We do see their ecosystem. Their ecosystem is huge. We see Mastercard, Microsoft. Again, another connection to Microsoft. We see Suku there. We see Hedera Hashgraph. We see many other ones too. You can pretty much read more about these if you want. And we do see a partner to every industry: apparel, footwear, beauty, food and beverage, pharmaceutical and healthcare, logistics, automotive, wine and spirits. There is so much behind this. And in terms of, when we talk about, Hedera is going to take over pretty much with everything and every single market, yeah, this is pretty much one of those leading names that will pretty much get us there as well. And, we know that they are working with, a large range of many huge named individuals, but also I believe that this is going to pretty much outscale a lot of the DLTs that we're already outscaling, but I think it's going to push our, transaction numbers well beyond the means of what we pretty much, see, or even, believe we will see, I should say. So this is very interesting, and I think that this is just one of the many interesting use cases on Hedera, and I'm very excited to see this actually come to fruition and pretty much, be utilized on a day-to-day basis like it already is. We are seeing, this number grow by 6 billion. We're seeing this grow by over 250. It's getting pretty crazy for Atma. Now we also see Hashport. Hashport is a public utility that facilitates the movement of digital assets between distributed ledger networks in a fast, secure, and cost-effective way. This is very interesting because you could pretty much pour any token, including Hedera, in minutes with Hashport. And I think when we're talking about all of these many, use cases, or I should say updates within the Hedera Hashgraph scene, I think Hashport's very interesting, and I think that Hashport's going to add a lot of, utility to the network for Hedera, because this is going to allow a lot of developers and a lot of just individuals to utilize, many tokens with Hashport. So I think that this is great. I think that this is incredible to see, and they are pretty much updating us on a day-to-day basis with a lot more use cases and stuff like that as well. You can read more about this porting process as well on their website if you want to. I don't want to go too in-depth on this because I do want to save, a lot more time for other things, because I do want to talk to you guys about something very interesting. But we know that this is all validated transactions are sent to the HCS, or the Hedera Consensus Service, which is going to provide transactions on Hedera. Now, I want to talk to you guys about one last major thing, and that is the Metaverse is set to spin iGaming on its head. Now, this is coming from online casino reports. Now, Metaverse casinos and sports betting platforms are ready to level up this year, so get ready for the next iGaming innovation. So, when we're talking about this, you might be wondering, well, what correlation does this have to Hedera? Well, it's actually very interesting when we look here and we actually let's come down here. So, are you wearing your NFT outfit yet? We do see here, payment will be powered on the blockchain or by using hashgraph technology like the Hedera Hbar innovation. This is pretty interesting because this is going to be NFTs. This is going to be the Metaverse. This is pretty much, in my mind, going to be very, very good for Hedera in terms of transactions, but also for, again, retail adoption. Casino gift cards, or gift shops, and even chips will be represented by NFTs. So almost everything that you will have to utilize for this casino, this Metaverse casino, is going to be pretty much, utilizing blockchain technology, aka or hashgraph technology, which I think that hashgraph technology is going to be the leading one here, especially considering the fees, sustainability, and even the speed stuff. So I think that Hbar definitely is a huge choice here. And the best part about this is, again, from online casino reports, cryptocurrency taking over online gaming, online gambling. The gambling industry, which is worth $423 billion, is embracing blockchain technology. So this is a very large market. Okay, $423 billion. I'm just saying, if that flows over Hedera, even a portion of that's going to be pretty big. I know it's only 423 billion. For a lot of individuals, they think that that's like whatever, but I believe that this is going to continue to grow. You got to see, how much this actually grows over time, but in general, I think that this is going to provide a lot more transactions. I think it's going to provide a lot of money as well to move over Hedera if it does become the leading choice, which I believe it will. And we do see here COVID actually sped up the plans for the metaverse, and things that may have been 5 to 10 years away were developed in the span of a few months. Combine that with the iGaming industry's track record of adopting new technologies, shows us we can expect it to be the forefront of this new digital world. So, I'm expecting this to be launched essentially very soon. We are seeing here, well, it seems obvious that the next place iGaming will, become the norm is on various casino and gambling site metaverses that are being planned for 2022 and beyond. So again, when we're talking about these major updates, I think a lot of people are kind of, stuck in the idea of let's watch the current price action on these assets and really see where they go. In my mind, I'm just watching things unfold. I'm watching things that are going to take us into, 2023 and beyond. I don't really care about the current price action, don't get me wrong. For those who are probably going to, about to smash their keyboard saying, but dude, like, what about the price action for Hbar this year? Like, what could we expect for 2022? Trust me, we will see major gains. I'm just saying, I'm looking forward into the future for a lot of these assets because Hbar is perfectly positioned to become a top tier asset. When we're talking about Solana going down constantly, I see Hbar at number 5 already, right? And when we're talking about Ethereum being almost unusable, I see Hbar at number 2. And when we're talking about Bitcoin having no true utility over this market besides the major dominance factors that it has, I believe that Hbar does have the power to be number 1 in the long-term span of things. Especially once all of this stuff ramps up. Hashport by itself, I think that a lot of people really need to do a lot more reading about Hashport to really understand how big this will be, because you can pretty much see all the use cases within it here. You can pretty much see this entire, port token process that only takes minutes, but also they are the interoperability layer for Hedera as well. It's going to connect it to other major networks. I think that this is great. I think that in terms of a lot of these use cases, Atma definitely being one of them, because Atma is a huge use case by itself. ServiceNow, we already know, is a huge use case as well. I just see this being extremely huge. And we even see here, this is from Adidas themselves. We integrated Atmos.io's connected product cloud into our Infinite Play initiative to scale our ability to buy back products and give them a second life. Like, in terms of what these companies are building under Hedera, I just think that it's going to be very incredible to see this grow. And we even know that the Food and Drug Administration, is pretty much acknowledging this as well. We do see here Atma.io's item level food traceability solution is a winner of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. And of course, guess what's funny about this? New era of smarter food safety, low or no cost tech enabled traceability challenge in partnership with Mastercard. So Hedera has direct ties to many huge named individuals and companies out there as well, and organizations. The FDA and Mastercard by themselves is huge, and you could read more about this. You could read, about, pretty much everything that they're doing with track and trace. You could see, pretty much all of the major pros about it. You could read more about these companies that are working with Atma. This is just one use case. I don't think that people realize that this is just one use case built on Hedera, and there's so many of them like this that are built on Hedera. And all of these direct ties to like Microsoft and stuff, I don't know. The GC members list, it's unpredictable who the next GC will be. I just know it's going to be huge. But with all of that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.